I want to share with you today a book called Olive's Ocean. I think this author has excellent examples of word choice, which you've been recently learning about with your own writing. I'd like to share the first 3 chapters of the book. "Are you Martha Boyle?" Martha nodded. "You don't know me," said the woman at the door. "Olive Barstow was my daughter. I was her mother." Martha heard herself gasp, a small, barely audible gasp. "I don't know how well you knew Olive," said the woman. "She was so shy." The woman reached into the pocket of the old smock she was wearing and retrieved a folded piece of paper. "But I found this in her journal, and I think she'd want you to have it." The rusted screen that separated them gave the woman a gauzy appearance. Martha cracked open the door to receive the pink triangle. "That's all," the woman said, already stepping off the stoop. "And thank you, Martha Boyle." The woman mounted a very old bicycle and pedaled away, her long, sleek braid hanging behind her like a tail. Breathing deeply to quiet her heart, Martha remained by the door, thinking about Olive Barstow, unable for the moment to unfold the paper and read it. Olive Barstow was dead. She'd been hit by a car on Monroe Street while riding her bicycle, weeks ago. That was about all Martha knew. A sad image of Olive rose in Martha's mind, a quiet, unremarkable girl, a loner with averted eyes, clinging to the lockers when walking down the hallways at school. The image that flashed next was imagined and worse. Olive flying through the air after impact like a bird, then scraping along the pavement and lying in a heap at the curbside, never to move again. Slowly Martha unfolded the piece of paper. Olive's handwriting was perfectly formed, small, dense, controlled, like rows and rows of pearls. Martha read, hearing the words in Olive's thin, hesitant voice. June 7th. My hopes. I hope that I can write a book someday. Not like the kind we did in Writing Lab. A real one, like in a library or bookstore. And not a mystery or adventure one, but an emotional one. Maybe I can make kids change their opinions on emotion books, like some authors did to me. Most kids at school call the kind of book I want to do a chapter book, but I call them novels. Maybe I could be the youngest person ever to write a novel. Maybe I can develop a unique style of writing that no other authors have. I already know the first sentence of my novel. The orphan's secret wish was that her bones were hollow like a bird's, and that she could just take off and fly away. I also hope that one day I can go to a real ocean, such as the Atlantic or Pacific. I like Madison with all the lakes, especially Lake Wingra, but I think it is not the same. When I'm 18, I want to live in a cottage on a cliff that overlooks the sea. What else do I hope? I hope that I get to know Martha Boyle, next year or this summer. I hope that we can be friends. That is my biggest hope. She is the nicest person in my whole entire class. An eerie feeling invaded Martha's body. She was holding a piece of paper that had come from the journal of someone her own age. Someone now dead. But there was more. Martha would be leaving with her family the next morning to visit her grandmother at her grandmother's house on the Atlantic Ocean, Martha's favorite place in the whole world. Also, she had recently decided she was going to be a writer, and this was still such a private thought that she hadn't even told her best friend or her brother or her parents. And what, she wondered, had she ever done or said to Olive Barstow that would compel her to write that Martha was the nicest person in my whole entire class? Most eerie, she would never know the answer. Minutes earlier she had been packing her bags for vacation, feeling completely happy, and now she felt different, altered. The longer Martha mulled over the coincidences, the more startling they became. Did you notice words like gauzy when referring to looking through the screen door, or invaded when an eerie feeling invaded Martha's body? This whole book is loaded with colorful wording. It is definitely understandable how the author received the Newbery Honor for this detailed story.